English Pro Max podcast. Hey there, English learners! Welcome back to the English Pro Max podcast, the friendliest corner of the internet where we help you level up your English through real conversations. I'm Monica.
And I'm Joey. Super happy you're here with us today, instead of, watching cat videos or scrolling through memes.
Ha! Though honestly, cat videos are pretty great. But I promise you, spending 20 minutes with us today is going to be way more useful for your English skills.
For sure. And today's episode is all about something we all do every single day, but rarely talk about in detail: our daily routines.
Exactly. We're going to walk you through a typical day in our lives, from the moment we open our eyes in the morning to when we finally call it a night and head to bed.
And while we're sharing our stories, you're going to pick up tons of natural vocabulary, useful expressions, and some phrasal verbs that native speakers use all the time when talking about their day.
Right. Because let's be honest, when someone asks you, "How was your day?" in English, you don't want to just say good or fine and leave it at that, right?
Totally. That's like ordering pizza and only eating the crust. You want the whole delicious conversation.
I love that analogy, Joey. Okay, so before we dive in, let me tell you what to expect. This is a B1 level episode, which means it's perfect for intermediate learners.
But even if you're a bit below that level, don't worry. You don't need to catch every single word to benefit from listening. Just relax, follow along, and let your brain soak up the natural English.
Exactly. You can always listen to this episode twice. First time just to enjoy and get the general idea. Second time to pause, take notes, and really focus on phrases you want to remember.
And at the end, we're going to do a vocabulary breakdown, where we'll review all the key phrases and expressions from today's chat, with clear examples you can start using right away.
Perfect. So here's the plan. First, we'll share what our mornings look like. Then we'll talk about our commute. You know, the journey from home to work or school.
After that, we'll get into the meat of the day, the work hours, and how we stay productive, or let's be real, sometimes struggle to stay awake.
Ha! So true. Then we'll discuss our evenings, how we unwind after a busy day, and finally, our nighttime routines before we drift off to sleep.
And throughout all of this, we'll be using phrases like I tend to, on my way to, I make it a point to, and before I turn in, so you can see how these expressions work in real life.
Exactly. The goal is simple. By the end of this episode, when someone asks about your day, you'll have a whole toolkit of phrases ready to go. You won't freeze up or feel stuck.
You'll sound natural, confident, and way more interesting than just saying it was okay.
All right, before we get started, quick favor. If you're enjoying the English Pro Max podcast, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us keep making these free episodes for you.
And we've got a little homework for you today, too. At the end of this episode, we want you to write 1 or 2 sentences in the comments about your own day using some of the phrases you'll learn today.
Yes, we actually read all your comments, and it's so cool to see learners from Brazil, Vietnam, Poland, Morocco, everywhere practicing together.
It's like a global English practice party in the comment section.
I love that! Okay, Joey, let's jump right in. Tell us, how does your day usually kick off?
All right, so on a typical weekday, my alarm goes off at around 6:15 in the morning. And I'm not gonna lie, my first thought is always, ugh, not already.
Ha! I feel that so much. The alarm is like the villain in every good dream.
Right? So what I usually do is I slap the snooze button at least once, sometimes twice if I'm really tired.
Okay, hold on. Let's pause here for a second. Slap the snooze button is such a great expression. It means you quickly hit or press the snooze button, usually without even fully opening your eyes, to get a few extra minutes of sleep.
Yeah, it's not a gentle tap. It's more like, go away alarm, I'm not ready for the world yet.
Exactly. So after you slap the snooze button, then what?
Well, after that second alarm, I know I really have to get moving, so I kind of roll out of bed. And I mean literally roll, like my body just sort of tumbles off the mattress.
That's such a funny image. So you're not jumping up all energized and ready to seize the day?
Ha, no way. I shuffle over to the bathroom, still half asleep, splash some cold water on my face, and that's when I start to feel a bit more human.
Nice. Shuffle is a good word, everyone. It means to walk slowly with small steps, dragging your feet a little because you're tired or lazy.
Yep, that's me every morning. After that, I head to the kitchen, and the first thing I do is make myself a green smoothie.
Ooh, look at you being all healthy.
I try. I throw in some spinach, a banana, maybe some berries, a scoop of protein powder, and blend it all up. It's quick, it's nutritious, and honestly, it gives me a nice energy boost to start the day.
That's awesome. I'm more of a tea person in the morning, but I totally respect the smoothie routine.
Yeah, everyone's different. Some people need coffee, some need tea, some need a full breakfast. The key is just finding what works for you and sticking to it.
Absolutely. So after your smoothie, what do you do next?
Well, while I'm drinking it, I usually check my phone. I know, everyone says don't look at your phone first thing in the morning, but I can't help it.
Hey, no judgment here. What do you usually look at?
Mostly messages from friends and family, maybe a quick scroll through the news headlines, and then I peek at my calendar to see what's on the agenda for the day.
Peek at is a nice way to say you take a quick look at something. You're not studying it deeply, just a fast glance.
Right, and I try not to get sucked into social media too much in the morning, because once I start, it's like falling down a rabbit hole.
Oh, I know that feeling. Falling down a rabbit hole means you get so absorbed in something, like scrolling through videos or articles, that you lose track of time completely.
Exactly. 1 minute you're checking one thing, and the next minute 30 minutes have disappeared, and you're watching a video about how to build a treehouse or something totally random.
Ha! Yeah, the internet is a dangerous place for time management.
For sure. So after that, I hop in the shower, get dressed, and then I do something that's become really important to me. I journal for about 5 minutes.
Oh, I love that. What do you write about?
Nothing fancy. I just jot down 3 things I want to accomplish that day, and maybe one thing I'm grateful for. It's a simple habit, but it really helps me set the tone for the day.
Set the tone means to establish the mood or feeling for something. So you're basically telling your brain, hey, this is how we're approaching today.
Exactly. It makes me feel more intentional and less like I'm just going through the motions.
I love that. Going through the motions is when you're doing something mechanically without really thinking about it or caring. It's like you're on autopilot.
Right, and I really try to avoid that autopilot feeling, especially in the morning, because that's when I set the foundation for the whole day.
That's so smart. Okay, my turn. Let me tell you about my mornings.
I'm all ears.
So my alarm is set for 6:30, but honestly, I rarely hear it because I'm such a light sleeper that I usually wake up a few minutes before it even goes off.
Wow, so you're naturally an early riser?
Sort of. I wouldn't say I love mornings, but my body just wakes up early, even on weekends, which is sometimes annoying.
I can imagine. So what's the first thing you do when you wake up?
I lie in bed for a minute or two and just stretch. I do this thing where I extend my arms and legs as far as they'll go, like I'm trying to make myself as long as possible.
Ha! I can picture that.
It feels amazing and helps me wake up gently instead of jumping out of bed and feeling all groggy. Then I get up, open the curtains to let in some natural light, and I make my bed right away.
Really? Right away? That's impressive. I leave my bed in a mess until like noon.
I know it sounds a bit extra, but making my bed first thing just makes me feel like I've already accomplished something, even if it's tiny.
That's actually a really good point. It's like a little win before the day even really starts.
Exactly. Then I go to the kitchen and make myself a cup of chamomile tea with a little bit of honey.
Chamomile in the morning, isn't that more of a nighttime tea?
Usually, yeah, but I find it really calming and it doesn't make me jittery the way coffee does. Plus, I like the ritual of making tea, boiling the water, steeping the tea bag, adding the honey. It's kind of meditative.
I like that. So your morning is more about calm and slowness rather than rushing around.
Totally. I try to ease into my day rather than diving in head first. While my tea is steeping, I listen to a short podcast or some instrumental music. Nothing too intense.
That sounds really peaceful. Do you look at your phone?
I try not to. I put my phone in another room overnight so it's not the first thing I see when I wake up. I only check it after I've had my tea and done a little light reading.
Wow, that takes some serious self-control.
It does, but it makes such a difference. When I start my day without immediately checking emails or social media, I feel so much more centered and less anxious.
Centered means you feel balanced, calm, and focused, right?
Exactly, like your mind isn't all over the place. After my tea, I take a quick shower, get dressed, and then I sit down with my planner and map out my day.
Map out is a great phrase. It means to plan or organize something in detail.
Right, I write down my top 3 priorities for the day, and I also block out time for breaks so I don't just work nonstop.
That's smart. A lot of people forget to schedule breaks, and then they burn out by the afternoon.
Totally. Burnout means you become completely exhausted physically and mentally from working too hard for too long.
Yeah, it's like running a marathon without drinking any water. Eventually, you just crash.
Exactly. All right, so now we've both shared our mornings. Let's talk about the next part of the day, the commute.
Ah, yes, the journey from home to work or school. For some people, it's 5 minutes. For others, it's an hour or more.
Right. So, Joey, how do you usually get to work?
I ride my bike. My office is only about 20 minutes away by bike, which is perfect.
Oh, that's nice. So you get some exercise in right at the start of your workday.
Yeah, exactly. It wakes me up, gets my blood flowing, and honestly, it's one of my favorite parts of the day because I get to be outside, breathe fresh air, and clear my head.
Clear your head means to stop thinking about stressful or complicated things and just relax your mind.
Right, and I also listen to podcasts while I ride, usually something in English to keep practicing.
That's such a productive use of time. You're exercising and learning at the same time.
Exactly. The only downside is when it rains. Then I have to take the bus, which is way less fun.
Why's that?
Because the bus is always packed during rush hour. I'm usually crammed in with a bunch of other people, and it's hot and uncomfortable.
Packed and crammed both mean really crowded with no extra space.
Yeah, it's not pleasant, but on those days, I just put on my headphones, zone out, and try to make the best of it.
Zone out is a great expression. It means to stop paying attention to your surroundings and just kind of mentally check out.
Exactly. What about you, Monica? How do you get to work?
I take the subway. It's about a 30-minute ride from my apartment to the office.
How do you feel about that?
It depends on the day, honestly. Some mornings I actually enjoy it because I can sit down, relax, and either read a book or listen to music.
That sounds nice.
But on other days, especially when the train is delayed or super crowded, it's really frustrating. I just stand there, squished between people, trying not to get annoyed.
Yeah, I can imagine. Do you ever people watch on the subway?
All the time! I love people watching. It's like free entertainment. I'll look around and make up little stories in my head about the people I see.
People watching means observing strangers in public and noticing details about them, right?
Exactly. Like I'll see someone with a huge backpack and think, oh, they're probably going on a trip. Or someone in a suit looking stressed and think, tough day at work.
That's fun. It also makes the commute go by faster.
For sure. All right, so now we've arrived at work. Let's talk about the workday itself.
Okay, so when I get to the office, the first thing I do is grab a glass of water and settle in at my desk.
Settle in means to get comfortable and organized in a new place or situation.
Right. I turn on my computer, check my calendar, and review what meetings or deadlines I have that day.
Do you dive straight into work or do you ease into it?
I try to ease into it. I usually spend the first 15 minutes or so just organizing my workspace, replying to quick emails, and getting mentally prepared.
That makes sense. What's your approach to tackling tasks?
I try to knock out the hardest or most important task first thing, while my brain is still fresh.
Knock out means to complete or finish something, often quickly or with effort.
Exactly. If I save the hard stuff for later, I usually end up procrastinating or doing it poorly because I'm already tired.
Smart. I do something similar. I block off the first 2 hours of my day for deep focus work. No meetings, no distractions. Just me and the task at hand.
That's a solid strategy. Do you take breaks?
I try to. I set a timer for every hour, and when it goes off, I stand up, stretch, walk around for a few minutes, and give my eyes a rest from the screen.
That's important. Sitting and staring at a computer for hours on end can really take a toll on your body.
Take a toll means to have a negative effect on something over time.
Yeah, exactly. So Monica, do you have a specific time of day when your energy drops?
Oh, definitely. Around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, I hit a wall.
Hit a wall means you suddenly run out of energy or motivation and can't keep going.
Right. It's like my brain just says, nope, we're done. And no matter how much I try to push through, I just can't focus.
Same here. That post-lunch slump is real.
So what do you do when that happens?
Honestly, I give myself permission to take a real break. I'll go for a short walk outside, grab a snack, or even just close my eyes for 5 minutes.
That's healthy. A lot of people try to power through and then they just end up feeling miserable and unproductive.
Exactly. It's way better to take 10 minutes to recharge than to sit there pretending to work for an hour.
Totally agree. All right, let's talk about the end of the workday. What does your evening routine look like?
So I usually wrap up work around 6 or 6:30. Wrap up means to finish or complete something.
Right, and then what?
Then I head home, and the first thing I do is change out of my work clothes into something comfy, like sweatpants and a t-shirt.
That's such a satisfying feeling, isn't it? Like you're shedding the work version of yourself.
Totally. After that, I usually cook dinner. Nothing too fancy, maybe some stir-fried vegetables with rice or pasta with a simple sauce.
Do you enjoy cooking?
I do, actually. I find it really relaxing. It's a nice way to unwind after a busy day.
Unwind means to relax and release stress or tension.
Exactly. While I'm cooking, I usually listen to music or a podcast, and it just helps me transition from work mode to home mode.
I love that. What do you do after dinner?
It depends. Some nights I'll watch an episode or two of a show. Other nights I'll read a book or call a friend to catch up.
Catch up means to talk with someone and share news or updates about your lives.
Right. And then before bed, I like to tidy up a little, wash the dishes, put things away so I don't wake up to a mess the next morning.
That's a good habit. It really does make the next day easier.
For sure. What about you, Monica? How do you spend your evenings?
Well, after work, I usually go for a walk around my neighborhood. It's become a non-negotiable part of my routine.
Why's that?
Because I spend all day sitting at a desk, and if I don't move my body in the evening, I feel restless and kind of stiff.
That makes sense. How long do you walk for?
Usually about 30 minutes. I just put on my sneakers, grab my headphones, and walk around, listening to music or sometimes just enjoying the sounds of the city.
That sounds really nice, and it's a good way to clear your head after a long day.
Exactly. When I get back home, I make myself a light dinner, usually a salad or some soup, and then I spend some time journaling.
You journal too? What do you write about?
I reflect on the day. I write about what went well, what was challenging, and what I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It helps me process everything and let go of any stress.
That's a really healthy practice. Do you write for a long time?
No, just 5 or 10 minutes. It's not about writing pages and pages, it's just about checking in with myself.
I like that. And then what? Straight to bed?
Not quite. I usually read for about 20 or 30 minutes before I turn in.
Turn in is a nice way to say go to bed.
Right. Reading helps me wind down and signals to my brain that it's time to sleep.
Do you read physical books or on a device?
Always physical books. I try to avoid screens at least an hour before bed because the blue light can mess with your sleep.
That's smart. I should probably do that more often.
It really does make a difference. All right, I think we've covered a full day from start to finish.
We really have, and hopefully you listeners have picked up some useful phrases and vocabulary along the way.
Exactly. Now let's do a quick recap of some of the key expressions we used today so you can remember them and use them in your own conversations.
Great idea. Let's start with slap the snooze button. This means to quickly press the snooze button on your alarm, usually without fully waking up, to get a few more minutes of sleep.
Example, every morning I slap the snooze button at least twice before I finally get up.
Next up is shuffle. This means to walk slowly with small dragging steps, usually because you're tired or lazy.
Example, I shuffled to the kitchen in my pajamas and made myself some tea.
Then we have peek at, which means to take a quick look at something.
Example, I peeked at my emails before breakfast just to see if anything urgent came in.
Next is fall down a rabbit hole, which means to get completely absorbed in something and lose track of time.
Example, I started watching cooking videos and fell down a rabbit hole, 2 hours just disappeared.
Another good one is set the tone, which means to establish the mood or feeling for something.
Example, a calm morning routine really sets the tone for a productive day.
We also talked about going through the motions, which means doing something mechanically without really thinking about it or caring.
Example, I was so tired that I was just going through the motions at work.
Then there's ease into, which means to start something gradually and gently, not all at once.
Example, I like to ease into my day with a cup of tea and some light reading.
Next is clear your head, which means to stop thinking about stressful things and relax your mind.
Example, I went for a walk to clear my head after a tough meeting.
We also mentioned zone out, which means to stop paying attention to your surroundings and mentally check out.
Example, during the long commute, I just zoned out and listened to music.
Another useful phrase is settle in, which means to get comfortable and organized in a new place or situation.
Example, when I got to the office, I settled in at my desk and started working.
Then we have knockout, which means to complete or finish something, often quickly.
Example, I knocked out 3 tasks before lunch and felt really productive.
Next is take a toll, which means to have a negative effect on something over time.
Example, sitting for hours every day can take a toll on your back.
We also talked about hit a wall, which means to suddenly run out of energy or motivation.
Example, around 3 o'clock I hit a wall and couldn't focus anymore.
Another good one is wrap up, which means to finish or complete something.
Example, I wrapped up work at 6 and headed home.
Then there's unwind, which means to relax and release stress or tension.
Example, I like to unwind in the evening by watching a funny show.
We also mentioned catch up, which means to talk with someone and share news or updates.
Example, I called my best friend to catch up after not talking for a few weeks.
And finally, turn in, which is a casual way to say go to bed.
Example, I was so exhausted that I turned in early last night.
All right, that's our vocabulary tour for today. Hopefully a few of these phrases stuck with you.
Remember, you don't need to memorize all of them at once, just pick 1 or 2 that feel natural to you and try using them when you talk about your own day.
Exactly. The more you use them, the more automatic they'll become.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for spending part of your day with us on the English Pro Max podcast.
If you found this episode helpful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave us a comment telling us about your day.
Yes, we really do read every comment and we love hearing from you.
Try to use at least 1 or 2 of today's phrases in your comment. It's great practice.
And remember, your day doesn't have to be perfect or exciting to be worth talking about. The small everyday moments are what make life real.
Keep practicing, keep showing up, and be patient with yourself. You're doing great.
We'll see you in the next episode. This is Monica.
And this is Joey. Thanks for listening to the English Pro Max podcast.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.